Hello, everyone.
Hello, beautiful people. How are you guys doing?
We're live from our bedroom today.
And you know what? We're so proud of ourselves because we are actually going through a very intense day, especially me. I'm not sure how Siman
I
is.
had my intense day yesterday. I was on bed rest from 7 p.m. and woke up at like 10:30. So I had a
So it's
day.
been very intense. And 2 minutes before the live started, I looked at Siman and I'm like, do you want to make the live today? Because as you guys know, when we make the lives, we're usually like owning it and shiny. And someone's like, cancel it. And I said, hold on, let me tune in. And I said, let's just go in. Let's just show up as we are. So we decided to show up as we are. We decided to connect with you all. And I'm already feeling better. I've just had so much inflammation in my gut. Oh my God. And like, that's what's happening, you guys. Anything, any areas of our life that are not like 100% is showing up in our faces. So lovely to see you all.
How are you guys feeling? Tell us in the comments if you're feeling intense or if you feel normal, or how's this energy feeling to you guys? And we'll wait for a few more people to join in.
And so, just so you know, for today, we are going to be talking a little about July, the intensity of the month, and also August. July and August, we've been hearing right from the very beginning of the year, everybody's like saying, everyone's saying they're excited. I love that.
Oh, we were going to talk about that. The
Yes,
CV.
yes. Okay. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
So, July and August are really showing
Stomach.
up as as intensely energetic. Okay, don't do that.
Okay.
He's reading that and it's completely blocking my flow. So anyway, unless you want to keep doing that.
No, I'm good.
Okay, guys. Anyway, let's get our groove on. Intense. Yes, intense. Very intense. Wow. So yes, I'm reading all the comments here and everybody says intense, tired, and all of that. So July and August, we've been shown are going to be extremely intense. And Siman's going to get into a little bit of an energy update shortly. Before we even start, I just want to say that two people on our team, on our Office of Christ team, one is Yana and one is Liara, they literally went back from the UK, they went back from England, and as soon as they landed in their respective countries, they got the Rona. And I really want to touch base on it because it's very important to not give energy to this man-made phenomenon that, has taken over the world. It's very important to really understand that what may show up and what may be branded or termed as Rona V in society is actually you going through your carbon to crystalline upgrades, is you going through your intense upgrades that'll just shatter everything. It'll literally shatter, it'll bring to ground zero your emotional body, it'll bring to ground zero anything and everything that's not in alignment. So many of you may be feeling these virus symptoms, and it's very important to not give it the energy of, oh, I have the CV or I have the virus. Don't even use those words, and really know that what has happened is that when they man made this virus, what they did was they took all the Ascension symptoms, all of them, they put them together, and they called these symptoms the virus. Does that make sense? So it's just wanted to start off with that. If you guys feel like somebody just said, I appreciate the authentic vibes, EJ. Thank you. Yes, we're super like in our bedroom, literally. It's 8:40 p.m. here in London. So if any of you guys are getting these crazy, crazy ascension symptoms, extreme lethargy, extreme tiredness, extreme anything, no willingness to live, no willingness to survive, keep pushing. All of these are ascension symptoms that are really coming up, including extreme sore throat, extreme fever, extreme like cold, cough. All of that is happening for a reason. It's flushing stuff out of your system. It's we've been through it in Costa Rica. Siman and I went through like what mainstream society would call the CV, but we never identified it. We never gave that term to it. Extreme stomach pain. Oh my God, me too, guys.
Gut issues is another thing that's
Oh,
very prevalent right now. You might want to talk about that experience.
yeah.
But basically, it's about your gut brain is coming online, and there's a heart brain, there's a mind brain and there's a gut brain. So right now the gut issues are becoming very intense for many people in the collective, and this can show us as digestive issues. This can show up as feeling sluggish and groggy. It can show up as not wanting to eat, or just having these weird cravings, like you wake up at midnight and stuff yourself with cashew nuts. So all kinds of cravings, all kinds of, like, sometimes the cravings are most of the time the cravings are exactly the opposite of what your body needs. um, so the main message that's coming on around the gut issues is that this is the gut brain coming on. Just how we have a brain that thinks, we also have a brain in our heart. It's called the heart's wisdom. It's another operating system. It guides you in harmony with the collective. And then there's also your gut instinct. What they call the gut instinct is actually um, your feeling brain. It's like where your feelings register, and you just know something is wrong, or you just know something is you're not supposed to do this, or you're supposed to do this. That's your gut instinct. But what happened is that we as society have disconnected ourselves from our gut, and that's systematically been done for us. It's been done by programming us that our bellies, if your belly is not flat and has a six-pack ab, then you should be ashamed of yourself. And that's what makes people also not breathe in the proper way. The proper way that yogis teach breathing is down to the gut. You're supposed to expand your belly and breathe all the way in, fill your belly, expand it, and then breathe out. Most of us have shallow breathing because we're so ashamed of this area being like bloated that we don't even breathe into it. So all of these things, our diet, our breathing, our lifestyle, like sedentary lifestyle. Most of us are in the office most of the time. We're not working out. So this causes our gut to become sick and diseased.
And also, our gut houses all the toxins that have been going into. Yana Sofia just said she went and had a hot dog. This is for Yana Sofia. Sorry to put you on the spot, but all the hot dogs we've eaten and all the crap we've eaten all our lives, all that shit is in our stomach, in our intestines. They're like sitting as toxins. And as we go higher and higher in our vibration, as we reach a point in our ascension journey, as we go on the journey from carbon to crystalline, our gut is saying, hey, these toxins have to leave, because the gut is connected to the mental body. So if your gut is crappy, if your gut is congested, if your gut is inflamed, your mental body is crappy, your mental body is inflamed. So right now, gut is coming up for many people here. Yeah,
Yeah.
Buddha belly. I love that. And you know what I was doing earlier today? Because for the past 2 days, my gut has been really like hurting, crying out loud for. So I've been like trying to have more liquids and stuff. But it's mainly the activation is coming online in me where the gut brain is turning on. And so, what I was doing today, which I highly recommend for all of you, is when you take throughout the day, when you're driving, when you're meditating, when you're ironing, whatever you're doing, take deep breaths. Simana and I do this as well. We go, and then when you exhale, imagine that air circling, that breath circling through your intestines and pumping fresh prana. And you can do this to anything. Like for me, my liver, I'm also doing a liver cleanse. So whatever you need, like start using the power of breath to move stuff around.
Yeah, and we also use pranic breathing. So one practice that we practice in the morning is go in the sun and just for 10 minutes breathe in the sunlight from the top of your head. So bring it into your gut, and in the lower part of your gut, just above your below your navel, is the lower dension. Your upper dension is in the upper hemisphere of your head, and your lower dension is in the lower part of your belly. So densions are energy centers of them of in their own right. They're not chakras, but they're you can call it them like storage tank for prana. So this is like prana breathing down your pranic tube. And when you're bringing in the sunlight in your breathing, so we do this in the morning, we bring in the sunlight and imagine this sunlight is filling up in your gut. And what that really does is it gives you more power, more willpower, more clarity and it starts to create a connection with your gut that has been severed spiritually. So because our connection with our gut has been severed spiritually, we have to take steps to reestablish that connection. And you can also place your hand on your belly and say, talk to me. What do you need? What messages do you have for me? And show me, why do I feel this way? So your belly will start talking to you, your organs will start talking to you. You can also check, how much chi you carry in any of the organs. You should go to a nutritionist and check how much toxicity you're holding in your liver, in your kidneys, in all your organs. This is very important part of the ascension. We have to detoxify our body and we have to take care of this whole part. So this is becoming the focus in the month of July.
Somebody said Akhenaten too had a little paunch.
Yeah, Akhenaten still has a paunch. Maybe
And
it's
guys,
getting worse.
while listen, today's video is going to be super impromptu, which is great because then the guides tell us exactly what we need to tell you because we haven't prepared really. And what the guides want every single one of you to know is that every single one of you is in some, maybe not all of you, but most of you are, you have a decision to make of some sort. Okay, some sort of decision, where to move, should I go back to university or not, should I leave this relationship or not, or oh my god, like should I go back to my 3D job or not, whatever. Okay, so each of you has a decision to make in some aspect or the other. Should I continue seeing this friend or not? And so we can use the power of our gut really to help. That's how guidance works. Guides don't talk like go back to school. They don't talk like that. They're talking to you in different ways. They're talking to you through your clairaudience, through your clairvoyance, through your clairsentience. So what one thing I highly recommend we do is, when we were in Glastonbury recently, Merlin asked me a very simple question. Not the Merlin, but our Merlin, our friend Merlin. Merlin asked, not the Ascended Master Merlin. He's Ascended
The
Master.
office of Christ
He's
Merlin.
training to be the Ascended Master that he is. Anyway, so Merlin said to me, Eldora, I don't know what to do. Should I go back on Facebook? I feel like there are a lot of my 3D friends in Facebook that know me as the past version of me. And I feel like I need to like still keep them in my Facebook so I can give them my new teachings and whatever I'm learning. I don't know if I should do that or not. So you see, this is a decision that you're making. Or Sistara, for example, is really confused. Should I go back to university? Like everybody says, university is a big thing, but the more I walk my 5D path, I'm realizing university is not even needed. In fact, it's a waste of my time, but I don't know what to do. So I said the same thing to both of them. Close your eyes and literally imagine yourself in that timeline. Imagine yourself making posts, making Facebook posts for your 3D friends in Merlin's case. In Sistara's case, imagine going back to university and ask both of them, how do you feel? Do you feel expanded or do you feel constricted? And both of them were like, Merlin was like, can you stop talking about this? You could see his face get so constricted. And Sistara said, when I think of university, because one option is for her to leave everything and fly to Glastonbury, very close to where we are, and for her and Merlin to rent an apartment together. That timeline is presenting itself to them because they want to start traveling the world with us and just start renting wherever. The other timeline is, should I go back to university? But when you think of it, it's in 1 second you'll get the answer. If it's in your highest good, you'll feel expanded, excited. Oh my God, I can't wait to do that. But if you're using your logic to convince yourself that that is good for you because your mother said so, or because that's what good girls do, they go to university, that's your logic convincing you, you'll start feeling constricted. So use this is again your gut talking to you. This is your heart brain, your gut brain talking to you. So for some reason I was guided to share that anytime you feel and you always have decisions, start using the power of your gut. Do you feel expanded or do you feel constricted? And that's your right
Yeah, your
answer right there.
feelings are also a form of intelligence. We've been shown that feelings are something to be suppressed so you can get back to work. But feelings are your highest form of intelligence. So, like she said, just tune into your feelings in every case. And also, I wanted to dive into the 7-7 gateway. This is a very powerful gateway which connects us with the energy of the Sirius star system. And right now, the first week of July, the energies from Sirius become very prevalent on Earth, and they continue until August 8th, which is the Lionsgate. Lionsgate is the peak or the zenith of the Sirius energy. And why is Sirius important in our human evolution? Because Sirius is our galactic grandfathers. They were one of the they're one of the ancient star races that have completed their evolutionary cycle. So now they only exist in the higher dimensions, and they have a soul contract with humanity to teach us how to evolve through all the stages. So at this point in our evolution, humanity is ready to make the jump or the leap forward in consciousness, but we can't do it alone. So we have a soul contract with the Sirius star system to come back. So between July 7th and August 8th, Sirius becomes like our second spiritual sun. So just how we have our normal sun, which is soul, Sirius, which is a blue star, so imagine Earth having two suns for this month. So what that really means is that the light from Sirius is guiding us, spiritually guiding us. And you can tap into this wisdom, connect with the lion wisdom, the lion lioness wisdom, because Sirius is a predominantly feline race. There are many races that are part of the Sirius star system, but predominantly the ones that guide us are the lions and lionesses. They're the priests and priestess class of the Sirius star system. So you can, if you connect with this consciousness and ask them to guide you, you'll get a very high level ascension guide showing you what to do. And I'd written down a few notes. This is also Earth. This period is also about moving into a very fast pace of time. So many of you will feel like right now time is moving very fast. And what that really means, how that translates into our life, is that your lessons are going to fast forward. Everything's going to blow up in your face. Nothing's going to be hidden. If you try to pretend, it just won't work. If you try to brush things under the carpet, it won't work. You cannot avoid your lessons anymore because time is moving very fast. And we have to start realizing that we cannot stay in the middle anymore. It's either you're ascending or you're descending. There's no more idleness. If
There's no
you
stagnation.
Exactly. If you think that I'm just going to, like lay under the covers and see how this ascension thing goes, and then once it happens, I'm going to jump on board. That's not how it's going to work. You're either going to move forward with the tribe, or you're going to start lagging behind. And it's not to put any pressure on you. What it really means is that if you're aware of your spiritual problems, if you're aware of your spiritual homework, and if you're working on it, that means you're moving forward. If you're aware of it and you're avoiding it, that means you're moving backwards. That's the only difference. There's no pressure, none whatsoever.
And all you have to do is make baby steps. You don't have to like conquer the whole world in one day, but it's very important to keep moving forward. So if you know that you have a gut issue, if you know you're not making the choices to eat, if you know you're supposed to be having, I'm just making this up, prebiotics, and you're not having your prebiotics or probiotics, if you know you're supposed to eat more raw veggies and you're not, you know that your body is asking you for a little bit of walk, which I myself am guilty of. In UK, it's not sunny like Tulum. So in this colder weather, I get more lethargic. I find it's a different psyche that activates. And so going out for a walk, going out is just so much harder. But it's about really training ourselves to constantly look at our own blind spots, write down all the things and really take it head on. As Siman said, there's no time. Honestly, guys, these energies, and that's why we call this, Are You Ready to Quantum Jump? These energies are not kidding around. They are not kidding around. There's no space for ego. And another thing I'm getting very strongly to share with you guys, many of you guys know the story of how our house right now is a full-fledged mystery school, our house specifically, because many of you know that I made a casual post saying, oh, I would love to have someone come and help us with this. And then many people replied saying, we'd love to come. And then one girl, Ree, we were guided, and she was guided that she's the one. So she flew in to live with us and help us with all the work as an employee. And then once she came in, we were told that this is a full-fledged mystery school. So what is coming in right now to share with you guys is that when you're in your lessons, your ego will convince you of stories. Your ego will convince you. So, for example, Ria and I had a talk this morning where she wanted nothing more than to work with us, nothing more. Like that's all she was obsessed about. She was applying in January, applying in February, applying in April, applying in March, like every month. And then finally, we never saw any of those applications. But when it was time, we saw it, and we flew her in, and now she works here. But now her ego is saying, I left my husband, my soul just chose this path, and I'm here now, and all these stories. And so this, and I'm very good at catching the ego. So, and she's here more for as an initiate to learn and fast forward in her ascension. So I said to her today, I said, the pity party has to end. I said, I said to her, I said, you know how your ego has convinced you that you have this great life back in Hungary that you left? I said, may may I remind you that you actually didn't have a life. You were sick and like you were fed up of your life. And she's like, oh my God, you're so right. So the words have to change. So I literally said to her, write down on your mirror every morning, literally write down on a piece of paper saying, and also activate gratitude. And this is coming for many of you. Many of you don't even know this, that you think you're in gratitude, but you're not. And I went through this coaching 5 years ago. When my guide said, you're not in gratitude, I said, oh my God, I have so much gratitude. And the reason we're talking about all this, guys, is that if you don't like start aligning yourself in all these hundreds of millions of random small ways, these energies will kick your ass. So in Ree's case, her whole story, her whole energy was, I'm in a job, I have to do the job because somehow my guides put me here. So there was no love in the job, there was no interest in the job, there was no gratitude in the job. And so this morning I said to her, I said, do you know how many people would want to do your job for free and just live with us? Because just living with us, they're getting upgrades. And she's like, I was one of them. I said, exactly. And she's like, holy shit. I said, as soon as you came here, what started? The spiritual ego blew up. What happened? The ungratitude blew up. What happened? All the egoic traits are blowing up. I even coached her the other day. I said, when you read the comments of the last video, because we both have been trained, when you guys pour your love on us, we're not going to get an ego. We're not going to grow an ego. With Ree, I said to her, you need to train yourself that when you start reading comments where somebody says, oh, I love Ree, don't get an ego. And this is, I'm being asked to share this for every single one of you. Wherever you're in your life, don't think that you are ego free. Don't think, oh gosh, I have my ego under my belt, because the ego is the biggest sucker that even the biggest masters fall to. And we're going to be going deep into a lot of this, especially power. For those of you who are coming, I know there's about 400 or so of you who have signed in. On today's what, the 4th, on the 7th of this month, July 7th, we're hosting a very powerful online event. It's called the Merlin 77 Excalibur Activation. And guys, what we're going to be doing in this activation really is all the practical stuff. It is for every single one of you. Every single one of you is invited to attend. You can actually go and check it out at www.eldoraandsiman.love. Literally, what we're offering is ascension support. Because right now, as you guys know, in our community, we're flying. We're literally going at the speed of a rocket, all of us. We did the 222, then we did the cord cutting. Now we're ready for 7-7. Why are we doing these events? It's because without these anchors, without these healings, without this support, your system may start getting fried. Your system might start feeling like, oh my God, like short circuiting, literally. So what do we do in our events? And this one is a 1-day event. We calm your nervous system. We give you the tools. We tell you, okay, so the energy, we tell you literally, this is what we're going to be diving into. We're going to be, first of all, so just an overview is with this particular event, we're starting with an overview of the tree of life.
In a lecture format.
Yes. So Siman has all his slides ready. We're going to be doing how to look at the tree of life and relate it to your ascension. What does that mean? Your evolution. You want to go higher and higher and higher, where life becomes easier and easier and easier. I said to Reed today, I said, when you harmonize your ego, which I'm telling to many of you as well, when you harmonize your ego and you stop thinking of yourself as a victim, when you start having gratitude and reverence for your teachers and people who have made a positive impact in your life, when you start showing love and appreciation in everything you do, when you swim in the ocean of 100% purity. When all these things happen, you start vibrating here, your life starts getting easy. I said to Reed today, I said, all your lessons of working will go away once you start raising your vibration. So I'm telling the same thing to all of you. So we're going to go into the tree of life.
And the tree of life is basically like a map of your ascension. It's actually the tree of life is embedded in our DNA, and most of us we find it very difficult to make head or tails of the ascension because literally there's no manual that comes with it. But when you look at the ancient texts, the manuals are right there. This is in it's called the Kabbalah. This is an ancient tradition that's passed down from generations. Even since the time of Atlantis, the tree of life knowledge was practiced, and that's how humanity used to ascend. But all this knowledge was buried. So now we're reclaiming this knowledge and bringing it back to your forefront and literally giving you a blueprint of the ascension in the 7-7 portal. The
And we break it down super simple,
This
guys.
information is going to be super exciting and applicable to everyone in their daily life, because it literally what the tree of life is, it starts from the bottom where you're in life and you're asking all these questions like, how do I access more joy in my life?
How
How
do I
do I
access more guidance?
access more peace? How do I connect with my guides?
How do I activate my
How do
abundance?
I get my shit together in all aspects of my life? But even when you know that these are all the steps I have to take, then there's no willpower. So the tree of life tells you, how do you harness the willpower to make the changes you need to make? Okay, fine. Then how do you balance mercy and compassion with discipline and all of these things? So all of these elements are embedded in our DNA. And when we start studying the tree of life, it's actually a multi-dimensional transmission that activates all the dormant parts of your DNA. Your DNA, scientists only understand less than 3% of it. DNA is multidimensional. We're multidimensional beings, but we're trapped in a three-dimensional reality. We don't know how to get out of these three dimensions and access the higher dimensions. Well, the tree of life does that for us. And this is like literally arming ourselves with all the tools and knowledge that we need to move forward. And what this does is bring more joy and peace and harmony and direction. And you'll literally start answering the questions like, who am I? What am I here for? Where am I going?
You'll
What
start
direction does my life want to
and you'll
take?
start feeling like a superpower. So we start off with the tree of life, and then I have slides. We're going to go deep into certain aspects of power. Right now the power template is being activated for humanity, but there's not even enough people on this planet, not even spiritual, I don't know, even spiritual teachers that have activated their power template. And so this is something that comes very naturally to us. We're very good at it, and our guides are telling us to now start training our soul family on the power template. So we're going to be going into that as well in a lecture format, slides format, and we're going to have lots of audience interaction. So there'll be Q&A, we'll bring you guys on, we'll have live coaching, and then we take a 90 60 or 60-minute break or whatever. And then we have Lee, one of our friends from Costa Rica, who does
From
5D,
Tulum.
from Tulum, who's going to come in and do a 5D breath work. So he's going to come in and do 30 minutes of breath work to get your
Raise your
vibration high.
consciousness.
And right after that, we're going to be giving you guys the Merlin Excalibur activation. And what that is so basically we'll do it at the event. I don't want to get into too much of it, but there are certain chakras on your head. There's one particular chakra called the cyclical chakra that we will literally be activating for you guys on the 7-7 event, during the event, after lunch. And we follow a certain steps. And that activation alone is going to, from what happened to us, I can tell you, knock you out and really activate your higher wisdom. So cyclical chakra is all about accessing higher knowledge, higher wisdom.
Sure, guidance comes through in a much more clear fashion once you activate that chakra. And this is literally like a new chakra that was handed to us. Like, we didn't even know this existed before. And I've done research, I haven't found any mention of this in any text. So I'm like, this is a huge responsibility. We're activating a chakra for humanity. And our guides gave us so many divine signs that you're on the right path. Don't doubt yourself. You're doing good. And like in our own lives, the since we've activated this chakra, it happened in Turkey. Literally, it happened one day while we were meditating in the sun, and then this chakra got activated when Merlin came in. And since then, it's like magic after magic after magic. It's like everything is fast forwarding at light speed, and our guidance and our alignment with the universe, our alignment with our soul's path, is just amplifying like never before. So
Yes.
we're excited to share all of this.
And I don't know what we were thinking. I think we were thinking too much of the American soul family. We've planned it for 12 o'clock, like, no, 3 o'clock to 9:30 London time. And I'm like, why did I plan it for 3 p.m.? So, anyway, you guys, for the EST guys, we planned it in EST without even thinking. So, it's this 7th,
No,
it's online.
we were thinking to
I was thinking
get
of,
that EST audience
yes,
as well
comfortable.
as the European
European.
audience.
So
So
wherever you are in the world, there's people coming from all over the world. This 7/7 is going to be super special, and we really, really encourage everyone to start doing courses, going to retreats, going to vortices, whatever you need to do, because this is going to be your currency, you guys. This is what's going to help you with the energies. This is what's going to raise your vibration. This is what's going to. So I really want to get into this, okay? When we say quantum jump through the 7/7 portal, what does quantum jump mean? Let's just talk about it for a second. When we say quantum jump, we actually mean quantum jump, because every portal that we've hosted, whether it's 2 or whatever, what happens is you come into the portal, we go through intense healing. So Siman and I, we actually go through a healing where we look at all your chakras. This is done in every event of ours. And what happens is through this event, you get activations, you get upgrades, and at the end of the event, you get clarity where you're shown your blind spots in the partner exercises. And by the end of it, you're like, oh my God, you're vibrating higher. So let's say we took a pendulum or a device and measured your vibration at the start of an event and at the end of an
we should
event.
start doing that.
100 million percent, your vibration will be way higher. If you came to Tulum, my God, the pendulum would go like that.
It would break off.
It would break. So
Fall in
now
the
what
ocean.
happens? So you walk out of it thinking you're the same person. You walk out saying, oh, yesterday I did the Merlin activation. Today I'm going back to my job at McDonald's. But you see, what happens is when your vibration goes up so much and it's raised for you in these portals, it's raised for you just by saying yes. You show up and you say, I'm doing it, your vibration goes up. Now, this is where I mean quantum jump. When your vibration goes up and let's say you're vibrating here and suddenly you're vibrating here, your whole reality will start matching you here. And this is always better than this. This is always better than this. And this is always better than this. So when we say you quantum jump, you're literally shifting. You don't even know it. You just look like the same person. You look like the same Ebony. You look like the same Yana. You look like the same people. But you're not the same people. You've vibrated. Suddenly you've shot up so much that everything shifts. Your abundance starts exploding. Like everything starts activating. You start speaking to your guides. So quantum jump through these portals is actually what's happening. The 7/7 is a portal. June 21st solstice was a portal. Lionsgate coming up is a huge portal. So take advantage of these portals. And you have to remember, these are not just portals. You're sitting with us in session. This is the portal. You're sitting with two quantum healers. You're sitting with two people who can activate these things for you. So that is the portal. So when I say quantum jump, that's actually what I mean, that you're going to be quantum jumping.
Yeah, it literally changes your timelines. And people who came to Tulum, when they went back, their lives are shifting.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can feel like chaos, because when your vibration shifts up an octave and you go back to your normal life, all the things that need to go are going to start showing up in your face. So most people become afraid and say, no, 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 I don't want my vibration to jump because that's my best friend. I don't want to lose them. But the ones who know, the ones who are focused on their ascension and know where they're going, they're like, fuck yeah, like drop this shit. I'm going forward. Like they're moving forward. And many in our soul family are like that. They're accelerating. They're looking at fear in the eyes and they're saying, I see you. And they're just pushing past all their blocks and limitations, and they're charging forward, and their lives are getting better as a result, because those who have the courage, it takes a lot of balls to do what we're doing. Ascension is not a walk in the park. It's not a piece
And
of
you know,
cake.
guys, even though it takes a lot of balls, I'm telling you this, the resistance is the hardest part. The resistance to change, the resistance to waking up early one day, and the resistance to going on Zoom, the resistance to paying $144, the resistance to change. The resistance is the ego. The resistance is the ego. And that's why I spent so much time talking about the ego. And just, there were a few sentences I wrote down just before coming here. We're going to be covering, going deep into all of this in 7-7 during the day, but there are some that I just want to share with you guys. Where am I still trying to control others? Where am I still trying to control outcomes? Your guides want you to reflect on these things. Are you trying to control your husband? Are you trying to control your children? If your children are over 17 years old, they have to do what's right for them. And right now, I'm fully speaking as the guides. I don't know which one of you needs to hear it. Where am I still tolerating abuse? Where am I still being abusive? Really, really, really. Where am I still idolizing the toxic masculine? Where am I still idolizing the masculine, and where am I still looking at the feminine as weak? Many of us have done this. I've done this. I've always worshipped the masculine because my father was very, narcissistic and dominant power. So I started worshiping that, thinking that's the only way I can feel strong. So where are you doing that? Where are you still worshiping the toxic masculine and judging the feminine as weak? Where are you still looking for validation and approval? This is huge. Where are you still looking for validation from this weird sister in law of yours, or this, aunt of yours who's always judging you? Or it could be your own mother. Where are you still looking for validation? Or it could be your own girlfriend, it could be your own husband. Because when you're looking for validation, what are you doing? You're playing small. So, all of this is the energy of July and August. All of this is coming up for massive introspection, you guys, massive introspection. And that is why literally we're doing these portal events, because our guides are saying, literally, complete integrity. You know what our guides said? They said right now light workers need something they're calling ascension energetic support. So they're saying to us, make these your priority, do something for every portal, because the guides can then come in and work on your light bodies. They can work on your chakras. They can work on your, to make your life easier, because the guides are invested in our ascension. The guides are invested in the ascension. They're invested in the ascension of the planet. So, for any of you who've just joined and who want to check this out, make sure you go to www.eldoraandsiman.love. There are tickets. There are $144, and I'm saying this to you. Just I haven't even spoken to Siman about this, but my heart feels called to say, we, as you guys know, we follow the honor system. We are fully in our integrity, and we expect you guys to be fully in your integrity. If any of you cannot afford 144, and the only reason, don't do it if you're just doing it for the heck of it and say, oh, let me just go entertain myself. This is not entertainment. If any of you genuinely wants to come to this course and cannot afford 144, write to us. We have a few people who are checking emails now. Write to info at houseofra.com. So HOUSE of RA.com. And say, guys, I really want to do the 7-7 activation on July 7th, but I can't afford it. Please give me a 50% coupon, and we will send you a 50% coupon. But I urge you all to use your own integrity, because if you can afford 144 and you're saying, let me just get a discount, that's 3D behavior. And what you're doing is you're harming yourself. And this is a teaching. You're harming yourself by saying to the universe that I can afford it, but I'm going to, cheat the system, because then your abundance will be withheld. Abundance, it's all energy, you guys. And we teach these things. We're going to be teaching all of this. We're planning an abundance course in August or September, whenever. So, anyway, I just wanted to urge you guys to put your ascension above all else, because that is what's going to help you thrive in these energies.
And another example of quantum jumping, we call this video quantum jump into higher timelines. When you're healing yourself, you're actually stepping into a new version of reality. You guys know that, right? That's pretty basic by now. So we've seen this time and time again, that let's say we're having a discord with some person, And we, the first thing we do is own our part of it. We say, okay, I'm having these negative feelings with this person. Maybe they're projecting on me, or maybe I'm projecting on them, whatever my story is, but I'm having these feelings. So the first thing you do is own your feelings and say, it's not, they're not doing it to me, because that's victim consciousness. Anytime you say, he did this to me, that's victim consciousness. So you say, you change your language. You say, I am feeling like crap because of this interaction that I had with that person.
Mm.
So first cut yourself off from that person as being the cause. You're the cause of everything you feel. You own it. And then you go into your own space and you say, okay, what's my ego story? My ego story is that that person projected something, or they behaved this way, and because of that I feel this way. So you say, okay, fine, that's my story, but what about that upsets me? Then you look at the root cause of what upset you, and then you finally go down to where in your life have you first accessed these kind of feelings. And usually it's related to some sort of a childhood trauma. So when, if you're able to have the intelligence and spiritual discernment to look past all of your ego stories, cut them down, cut them down, cut them down, down to the core, when you get to the very core, it always comes back to you. All healing is self-healing. And when you heal that root cause of the situation that was bothering you, it always boils down to one thing. Every healing situation is caused by one thing, and that is, at some point in your life, you were not loved the way you expected to be loved. And that's usually in our
And
childhood.
soak that up, you guys. That is so deep.
In any point in your life when you're feeling a healing situation is coming up, it's because of one reason, and one reason alone. It's because early on in your life you were not loved the way you expected to be loved, and that caused fragmentation in your soul. And when we carry all these fragmentation, all these divisions of our soul, we pretend to be one person, but we're actually schizophrenic, all of us. Most of society is schizophrenic, because you'll be behaving normally at work, and somebody will say one thing that will irk you, and then a new personality suddenly comes online and say, hey, let me get back to that person. What a bitch, what a bastard. Like, why would he say that? I'm going to, play a prank on them. I'm going to spill coffee on them and pretend it was a
I'm
mistake.
going to show them what a bitch they are.
I'm going to get revenge. So when you really look at yourself, we're all schizophrenic. We're all like
Multiple
we're
personality
all
disorder.
suffering from psychosis at
Yeah.
some point, in some level. So we need to start taking ownership of our own psychosis and say, holy shit, this is not cool. Like, I need to work on myself. I need to get rid of all these stories, because I want to be my whole self. I want to be my normal self. I want to be my divine self. And that's the whole journey of healing. And the point started with quantum jumping. When you heal that core root issue that caused that fragmentation, you literally shift the reality around you. So if you, instead of projecting back on that person who caused this divergence, instead of projecting, if you heal that root cause, you'll suddenly go back to work the next day, and the relationship will be healed because you healed yourself.
I love that. And I haven't even shared this with Siman yet, but this kind of we do this all the time. We do it even now. And many of you have shared with me that you love how we share our personal examples, because many people act like they've got all their shit together, but the ones who act like they've got all their shit together actually don't have their shit together. So let me tell you what came up for me today. I want to go a little bit deep in exactly what he said, but by giving you a practical example. So just like every single one of you is doing your own ego harmonization, right now we're in a mystery school. So today, when Saman and I sat down for about an hour with Ree, the girl who from our soul family who lives with us, and we gave her like an in-depth coaching on gratitude and integrity, and like having integrity in your work, having passion in your work, having excitement in your work. And after the 1 hour the coaching was done, I had to go clear myself, because instantly I felt an ego story play out in my head. And I'm very vigilant of my ego, and I'm giving you the tip of how you can be too. Instantly I saw an ego story play out in my head. I'm very good at it. I can just like find it and then put it away right away. It's very quick for me, but you have to work on it. So for me, the ego story was, Out of like the 50,000 people who follow us and 20,000 people who love and adore the fuck out of us, why is the one person who's living here the one who A does not look at us as teachers, B does not have gratitude for us? She's actually a lovely person. It's just that she's not been taught these things. It's not like she's a bad person, not at all. And so my ego started saying to me, why do I have to take this ungratitude? And you know what I said to myself, to my ego? Instantly, it was instant. So the first thing is, when you feel these feelings, don't project it. So this is very important. When you feel these feelings, there's nothing wrong with that. This feeling is coming up to show you where your ego is still trying to bait you with a story. So for me, the story was, oh my God, I would have preferred someone who can nurture me, who has gratitude for me. I had that ego story just come up for 1 second. And I said, I'm not doing this. Now, what is projection? Projection is projecting that on
Like
someone and
blaming.
say, you don't have gratitude and you just came here, and that's projection, blaming someone. So the first step is, when you feel an ego story, what did I do? I went and lay in the garden outside under a tree, and I said to my ego, I said, why do you need gratitude? Why the fuck do you need gratitude? So I literally cornered my ego by saying, why do you need respect? Why do you need anyone to look at you as a teacher? Why do you need them to be grateful for your teachings? So when I did that, literally, I diffused the situation. And another thing that came up for me, and I'm super candid, we discuss all of this because this is a mystery school. Ree and us, we don't talk every day, but once a week we debrief, because it's a lot of lessons are coming up. Another thing I noticed Ree doing is that she worships Siman, and she doesn't really have that relationship with me. And many of you in our audience do that too. And I'll tell you why. It's the worshiping the masculine, and I find that energy disgusting. Do you know why I find it disgusting, though? This is what's going to blow your mind. So, for example, I've been given the task of being Ree's teacher and initiating her, okay, in the Sisterhood of the Rose. But Ree, and I'm the one who's giving her all the cheat sheet. I'm saying, hey, watch out for your ego. When you read the comments, don't let it get to your head. Absorb the. I'm giving her like the fucking cheat sheet of Ascension. I'm a master teacher. I am in spirituality, I'm the best teacher I know. Okay. He's the best healer I know. I'm the best teacher I know. I'm the fucking master teacher of teachers when it comes to spirituality. I can get through all your bullshit. I can go right into your DNA and I can say, that's your problem right there. And I have this ability.
And I can attest to that because I am who I am because of her teachings.
The thing is, I have a very high bullshit meter. So when somebody is like hiding behind their ego, I can just pinpoint it. So I've been doing that a lot with Ree. And yet, there's been about 5 times where she's looked at Siman and said, Siman, when you tell me, I get the whole transmission. And I can see that she's doing exactly what I did all my fucking life. I worship the masculine and I disrespect the feminine, but I don't even know it. And do you know why it was making me feel sick today? Not because she's doing it, because she's unconscious about it, right? She's doing it. He doesn't even give her like 1% of what I give her, but she worships him. Do you know why it made me sick? It almost made me sick, like I was going to throw up. It's because I have done so much of that, you guys. I have worshipped the masculine. I have given away my power to the masculine. When it came, my father, who was abusive towards me, my ex-husband who was abusive towards me emotionally, my son who was narcissistic towards me, even to Siman, who's nothing but he dotes on me, but I always give away my power to Siman. Like sometimes I'll do so much and then I'll come on YouTube and I'll give him credit. And you know what my guide said to me recently? They said, you have to stop doing that. Otherwise, you're going to make yourself sick. And so many of you need to hear this. Many of you need to do this, guys. We worship the masculine, and it's not their fault. It's our conditioning because our fathers
We've
have
been
been,
taught to worship the
yes,
masculine. It's been actually programmed into our society, and we are right now a patriarchal society,
yes,
but we are going back into matriarchy because the feminine wisdom has been suppressed for way too long. And for humanity to ascend, the next step is for all of us to come back and embrace our feminine wisdom. And what that means is, um, okay, so an imbalance occurred when the feminine started rising. The imbalance occurred that feminism became equivalent of women trying to be like men. But that's where the imbalance occurred. Women don't have to be like men in order to be equal. Women can be feminine and receptive and own all their powerful attributes which men don't have. And men can never be women. Women can never be men. Men have a certain role, women have a certain role. But the imbalance occurs when first the feminine was suppressed, and then the feminine realized we're suppressed and now we have to come back into power. So the feminine, in order to come back into power, started becoming overly masculine. So again, another imbalance occurs. The feminine is now overly masculine because right now the men in society are literally like they have no power, they have no voice. Like all the men I speak to, they're literally like their throat chakras are
They have
closed.
no
They don't know
balls.
how to express their masculinity anymore. And women are running the show.
And this is the Matrix. That's what the
Women are
Matrix has
running the
done.
show, and the
Yes.
people on the top who are the puppet masters who want to control us, they're laughing all the way to the bank, because all of these imbalances are causing us to be at odds with each other, and we're not able to come into our natural role. And the natural order is where men and women both own who they are at their true essence. And men can be the protectors, but men can also be the feminine. We're both supposed to have the feminine and masculine within us balance. That's when we come into true balance. So women don't have to become overly masculine. They can still be feminine, but have 40% masculine. Men can be 60% dominant masculine, but still not be afraid of their feelings and not be afraid of that. When you're going through something, you can cry, you can own your feelings. So it's not that women have to be men and men have to be women. It's that we both have, women and men have to balance the masculine and
Yes.
feminine within ourselves.
And I have a great example to share with you guys. When the Office of Christ was recently visiting us in England, so I am the responsible one, as many of you women watching. Sorry, guys, I'm just talking about the women right now. We're so responsible, right? Yana Sophia is the same. She's so fucking responsible. So there was one day when we were like 9 of us or 10 of us walking to a restaurant, and Siman and the rest of them were just charging forward, not even knowing where this place is, and they just went somewhere. And I said to Yana, I said, you know what? These guys are going to walk around town and they're going to come back here because it's a Saturday night. Nobody will have reservation. So Yana was like, do you want to tell them? Do you want to call them? I said, no, no, we'll just stay here. Let them find us. It's the opposite of what I normally do. Usually I'll spoon feed them. I'll call 10 times and I'll say, we're here. Come here. We found a table. So I said, let them walk around town and then they'll figure it out. So Yana is sitting like this with her phone. She's like, so responsible, right? She's like, I said, you're the queen mother. Now let go. Turn off your fucking phone and put it in your bag. And she's like, are you sure? I said, yes, just let it go. So we started chatting and this and that. We got a table for 10. He said, yeah, in 10 minutes, I'll have the table. And then exactly as I planned, like 20 minutes later, the whole group comes back and they said, we went to that Japanese sushi place and they were full. And do you have a table? And we're like, yeah, we do. So what's the lesson here? We're always trying to be the masculine, like coordinate things, look at the phone, text everybody. So in Siman's, in my case, he needs to do more of this. I need to do more of what he does. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like, he turns off his phone and he's like, I don't know, let's figure it out. So now what I've started doing is I've started following, we're reversing roles. I said to Yana, turn off the phone. Let them find us. If not, we'll eat. I have my credit card. If not, you have your credit card. Who the fuck cares? And
And it
this
works.
is so opposite of us
Yeah.
women, you guys.
Yeah.
We women, we think about everybody. Has she eaten? Has he eaten? Are they okay? Will they get lost? We baby the crap out of people. So now the roles are reversing and it felt good, right, Yana? Like it felt good. We're like, who cares? We're going to have fun.
Exactly.
And they all came.
Exactly.
So we weren't planning to talk about this, but obviously it's in the collective, you guys. So
Yeah.
it's so important. And one last thing, if you guys are constantly the women who are cooking, 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 or if you're constantly the man who's always worrying about being the bread earner or the breadwinner, I say screw all this old like matrix shit, and the guys can start cooking, or the guys can say to their girlfriends, hey, get your ass off the couch and go get a job as well. And the girls can say to the guys, hey, get your fucking ass off in the kitchen and help me make some food. It is so important right now to balance the roles, guys. It is so important because nobody said women have to be stuck in the kitchen cooking and that the woman is responsible for the meals. This is all outdated as fuck. This
Yeah.
is outdated shit, literally. Instead, like now, allow passion to determine when you cook, what you cook, not like a chore. Like Matrix has made it like a chore. Having babies, cooking, getting married, having sex, everything is just such a chore. So all of this is coming up. So friggin' true. I won't eat alone. It's you guys are so funny. Well, I think that's it. Did you have anything else?
Nope. I think
So I
we're
hope
good.
that helped. I love you too, you guys. I love you all so much. I'm glad we made this video. Honestly, it's only because of you guys. I said to Siman, it's our soul family.
And
Let's
also,
go on.
before this video started, we were literally like in a healing situation where this intense energy is coming in, and we almost postponed this video. And when we turned on the live button and your energy and your love started coming in,
Yes.
it literally
I
shifted
love
us.
you guys so much.
It transformed us. Like we're different people from when we
Yes,
first
you
started
guys
the live.
healed us.
Yeah. So your love heals us a lot. Thank you. We love you
Aw,
guys.
We love you guys. Thank you
And
so
this
much.
is such a beautiful soul family. Like I've never seen anything like this on earth, and we're so blessed that we're all together
Aw,
now.
You guys are so sweet.
We're
Honestly, guys, it's not easy. Like literally, our houses has become a fucking mystery school now. It's so annoying.
yeah, it's like always
It's so fucking
lessons
annoying.
all the time.
I'm like constantly like
It's
in.
like lessons for breakfast, lessons for lunch.
Oh my god! And all you see redoing is writing all her lessons. She's got like 5
We're
books.
actually planning to write a book based on our life.
It's getting
Like-
too much. And also because of this whole mystery school, my patience lessons are coming up. How fucking patient can I be? I just want to take this and smash it on. I want to smash it literally.
One day we should just have a like let out all our anger and all of our pent up emotions.
Ow! Ow! This actually
Oh.
poked me.
Whoa,
Delete.
energy is getting too intense now.
Like you just think that you're getting okay. My ego story was, oh, we're just going to get this person who's going to come here and cook all our food and do this and do this. Like ego was like this, right? Even Ree's ego was like, oh, I'm just going to show up in EldoRa and Siman's house and it's going to be great. And then she arrives and the guide say, it's a mystery school. It's a mystery school. So we're getting your content through Ree. So you have to be very thankful to her because she's by coaching her.
And it takes a lot for us to share all these
Oh,
personal details,
my
even like
God.
our own ego lessons. So, like,
Well. Hold on. Don't be on such a high horse because you don't share jack shit.
I don't
I
have
share.
ego
Oh,
lessons.
come on.
What? Okay, tell me one.
Well.
Tell me
I mean,
one.
you
Be
just
honest.
act like you don't have any.
No,
ego.
be honest. Tell me
No,
one.
like 5 years ago when you were going through your ego training, you would have so much judgment
Yeah,
to
I
he was
did.
basically he
I
was
did
so
at
love
that
and
time.
light. He was so love and light. If someone got a little bit negative, he'd be like, ooh,
Yeah,
my panties are
negative.
getting
I had to. My panties. I got my
Oh my
panties in a
God.
twist. Yeah,
So-
I was too love and light, and I had to learn how to.
so fucking love and light.
My parents never expressed negative emotions, so I had to learn how to express negative emotions. Like when somebody expressed negative emotions towards me, it
he would
be
go
like
sleep for 5 days.
it would like completely throw me off. My compass would start spinning. I would have no direction. And now I'm like, oh, negative emotions are part of the process. Oh, you're supposed to own them.
You're supposed to
So-
integrate your shadows. That's
Yeah.
what makes you a master.
Yeah.
I love you guys. I feel so much better. Thank you all. I love you all. We'll see you guys on the 7th.
Okay, we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, everybody.
With all our love.
Bye,
Take care.
guys.